In this video series, we're going to walk through a strategy that almost anyone could implement in order to achieve $1 million net worth in around 10 or 11 years. I previously walked through a little bit slower and lower funding level for this strategy, but this one we're funding a little bit more aggressively, and we'll also compare it to what you'd need to do in the markets and what kind of returns you'd need to have to achieve a similar net worth. Check out this video series in the video description. I'll have a playlist, or up here is a link to it. I made this spreadsheet so that it shows the amortization schedule for every one of these, and so you can see here our last property is purchased in year 11, and so we're not doing any extended cash out refis, so that should mean that our mortgage balances, so this Q column here, this mortgage balances, when we look down here, we should see in year 40, age 62, that is where we have all of our loan balances paid off. Make sure you watch the rest of the videos in this series, but if you really want to know the secret to success, you're gonna have to watch through this whole video. We're accounting for all of the amortization, factoring in 3% asset growth, which is pretty realistic for real estate. Over the long term, annualizing about 3% in asset value is pretty realistic. We're assuming a 7% cap rate, and so by the time we hit year 8, we buy our last property in year 11, we now no longer are even out of pocket for this amount. We are cash flowing. This is the amount we're cash flowing after debt service on these properties. These are the amounts that we're cash flowing, but also we've had all this cash in excess of policy loan. So when we go and pay off each of these loans to the insurance company, because we've done this forced depreciation, we now have access to more capital. So these funds plus the annual cash flow, you're not actually out of pocket for your premium after just a few years. So your first year where these end up being enough to cover it is almost by year 8. By year 8, you'll have generated $19,600 from your cash out refi, and then $15,485, so like $35,000. Year 8, if you do this right, have a perfect BRRRR, and get your cash out refi and your cash flow from your rental properties, you will now have $35,000. So this will be funding itself, and every year after that, this should be funding itself. And by the time you get to purchasing your last property, you're cash flowing in perpetuity. So you could continue if you wanted to fund this for longer if you wanted to, but that's not the scenario we're walking through here. We're really just kind of walking through a scenario where somebody wants to fund and slow down in life and just kind of let their assets grow. So in this scenario, this is year 20 right here, age 42. When we look at year 21, where we start taking this draw from this policy, we're taking out $145,000, almost $146,000 a year, and that's tax-free because we're taking it as policy loans, and we're capitalizing the interest and all of that. So that's where you'll start to see that the accumulation value and the cash value will start to disconnect, and you'll see that you're continuing to earn compound interest on the accumulation value, and you have a loan against it, and that's why your cash value is significantly lower as you get to these later years, and that's how you're drawing against this. But basically, this is assuming that you're outpacing the interest that you're paying, and over the long term, you should reasonably expect something like an 8 to 10% return over the long term in an index universal life if you're using the right indexing strategies. We have another video on the indexing strategies. Check it out. I'll put it in the description or in one of our playlists. But this is how we will be able to draw funds over the long term. If you made it this far, then you will know that you just need to throw all of your money into Shiba Inu and drop a dog emoji in the comments. I'm just kidding on buying Shiba Inu. You can do that if you want, and who knows whether it's going to go to the moon, but I am not recommending it. Do drop an emoji in the comments though, and I will respond with something special. Check out the video description or top comment for a link to the series playlist. You can also find our playlist with content to help you on your path to financial freedom. This November will be the 10-year anniversary of leaving the Army infantry without a college degree and no real plans. I've learned a lot about how to earn, keep, grow, and protect more of my wealth. This channel is intended to share these lessons learned. If you're interested in unconventional wealth growth strategies and how to multiply your income quickly, then hit that subscribe button to join me on this journey.